Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to KrakenQuest, Zeitgeist, The Gears of Revolution, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. I don't have any clever quips today, and with me, as always, is Sam playing Jack.
This week's recommendation is Unknown Soldier, a stark, incredibly violent, incredibly interesting character-driven story taking place in real-life war-torn Uganda. It's how I learned about Joseph Kony and other stuff way before all that stuff was kind of on the internet. By Joshua Desart, Alberto Ponticelli, Oscar Celestini, Clem Robbins, and Igor Cordry. It is highly recommended for me. It is only 4 volumes. It got canceled before it was really done, but it still ends really well. I really recommend it.
That was long.
All right, cool. And we also have Catherine playing Mina.
I'll keep it short. Hi, that was my cat.
James playing Elfairy.
Zambria turned out to be the brain stealer thingy.
Who could have seen it coming?
I wasn't totally sure. Maybe she was hijacked, but it turns out, nope, just her.
And Carter playing Zeodor.
I do want to take one moment for a serious thing, but I promise there's a joke at the end of this. So this week is International Idiopathic Hypersomnia Awareness Week.
Okay.
And
I know one of those.
Yeah.
So as you all know, my wife Darby suffers from idiopathic hypersomnia. It's a very serious condition where the body produces a chemical into the spinal column that is bioequivalent to a sleeping pill. It's effectively like being on sleeping pills 24/7 your entire life. It's a very serious condition, and not a whole lot is known about it, and research into it is very new. But I did promise a joke at the end of this, which is that this is also Bisexuality Awareness Month, which means that all bisexual rogues have penalties to stealth. Luckily, Zeodor is gay, so we're all good.
And now you're aware. Anyway, thank you for that.
Sorry, I made more jokes in my head.
So last time on Zeitgeist, fate conspired against our group and decided that the seal to the plane of Mavisha would be opened any dang way.
It's more of a shark, really.
Yeah.
Fate shark.
The shark
of fate.
jumped.
And then on their way returning from the seal, stranger events occurred, which led to a ship being burned down and a suspect escaping. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Zambria just fucking
And it occurs to me, did she cause that or just take advantage of it?
We don't know yet. We also can't be sure at this moment that Zambria was in control of Zambria. If Zambria has ever been in control of Zambria.
Also,
Her real name is Kevin.
His name
you
Kevin.
3 don't know about that yet.
Oh, right.
True facts. We know about that Hydra that jumped on our ship and we killed.
Yeah, I shot a Hydra.
Speaking of which, a question I forgot to ask last time. Is the Hydra corpse still on our ship, or did it into water too?
Yeah, so you might, after seeing to some of your wounds, go over to inspect the corpse of this Hydra, and after a couple of minutes, it does dissolve into a large puddle of water. It kind of just sloshes overboard.
Gross.
How's it going over there, guys?
Along with all the slime corpses.
Well, I thought I'd be able to put out
We're
fire
all
over
on this
there
boat now.
on your ship, but I mean, our ship's not on fire and we're all alive as best we can be. How many survivors were on the other ship, by the way?
Nobody who was below deck survived. And I think the only person that was above deck was you guys and maybe the captain.
Yeah, I think you said the captain was because he was steering the ship.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Kevins died below deck.
Were the three captives we had? I don't remember what happened to them.
They were
They all got
on.
their brains eaten.
They were on the other ship.
Right, yeah.
Which I will tell you
They got their brains. I knew they were on the other ship. I didn't remember that they got their brains
right
eaten.
now. Holy shit, guys! She ate their brains.
Who?
Zambria.
Whose brains?
Presumably.
Well, I can't find her, and I saw a dead Finona and the other two mooks.
And all their brains were eaten?
And all of them were bleeding from the chin and mouth.
Okay, I guess we have to kill her. Or put her back in her hole and lock it up.
Yup.
I'm
killing
gonna
would be more expedient.
cast, as just a regular action, detect planar energy for a pet.
Okay.
Right? That's the one.
To track Zambria, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, while he's doing that, can you detect the Mavisha energy to make sure that all of that water from the Hydra and the things?
Yeah, let me see if I've got a spell slot open to do that with, or if I have to do it as a Kajigger.
As a ritual.
Not my Kajigger.
I can do it as a thing. So I'm casting Detect Player Energy for the watery one.
All right. So you sense some lingering energy of Mavisha where the Hydra was. It doesn't look like there's much of a trail beyond like where your ship was when the fight started. Like you have a sense up to I think a mile, and it looks like the trail that the Hydra would have left starts close to where your ship was and ends where your ship is now.
Okay.
And no other senses beyond that.
Yeah, this seems like it was kind of just a isolated energy from it, but it's from it. There's not really a trail. I get the feeling somebody might have summoned this thing.
Okay, just keep an eye on it. Make sure it doesn't.
Yeah. I'd rather not get jumped again either.
Yeah, I basically tapped.
I don't trust water energy to not just become a Hydra again.
And then Ilferi, you're detecting a pet.
Yeah.
So yeah, there does seem to be a trail leading up to where the dagger is now sinking below the waves. And nothing from it aside from the trail that the boat would have left.
Where the fuck would she go?
There's no trace of her other than from where we were to where they are, and then the boat sinking.
So did she just jump into Apet or some other realm?
Portal magic.
I guess
She could have
teleported.
possibly teleported.
We should have given her a gold ring somehow.
Should have put Mage Coast on her.
That's what I'm saying. A gold ring.
Well, I mean, she wasn't doing anything illegal. We were trying to keep her separate from everything. Didn't really expect her to
Yeah. So
suddenly
next time, nobody gets
do
raped.
this. Right. The only place I can think of that she might want to go is back to the other temple.
Maybe, but
Or possibly to one of the temples we haven't visited, or possibly to Flint to continue whatever her operations were there, or possibly back to the temple we just sealed to unseal it.
yeah, I don't think we really have much.
I don't know what to do next. I mean, I guess if we have no leads, we should be heading back. But maybe we should check on the goblin. I don't remember his name.
Paco.
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 Maybe we should check on him. Just
How far are we from the seal?
Half a day.
Do we have? I mean, we can waste the day.
Yeah, we've got the supplies.
But if we waste the day and she's going in the opposite direction, she's got an even bigger head start. Unless she used teleportation magic, in which case, fuck us.
I think, well, yeah, I mean, I have no trace of her other than on the ship, which is, you know, bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she would just teleport.
Could she even teleport that far?
I mean, if she has access to teleportation circle. Or if she's from another plane, I don't even know what she has access to.
Mm.
But just knowing what's possible on this plane, if she had magic that we didn't know about, it's entirely possible she could vamp to a circle.
Yeah.
Okay, teleportation works normally, it's just stopped by gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone on this team have the ability to message people over long distances?
I still got that wind thing.
Yeah, but it's kind of slow.
It is.
Who are we
only have-
messaging?
There's only one person we could message with that.
Exactly.
Who are we planning on messaging?
Paco, because if we talk to Paco, then we don't have to go back.
Let me manage my spells.
Hey, why don't you skywrite to him?
We're too far for that to be visible.
Are we though?
Not if you do it really big.
How high can you go?
Sky's the limit.
Oh, okay. Radius, wait, can I see Paco's ship?
Well, this would only work if
If Paco,
is still if Paco is still above deck.
You could still give him
Also,
the
it is
warning of,
nighttime.
hey, look the fuck out.
Also, what?
Also, it
It's
is
night.
nighttime.
Yeah.
So it'll be extra bright.
Ah, darn!
I mean-
the one and only weakness of the spell Skywrite.
Let's see. I could do Animal Messenger tomorrow.
We're going to wait till tomorrow. It would.
I mean, I have no spells I can communicate today, anyways.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like a guy thing, but like all of you've got like bang bang spells. Where are the like utility spells?
Later on.
I cast Dark Vision, except I can't. I'm out of spell slots.
And I have
any.
dark vision. I think he has dark vision. I think the only two that don't are you and him.
I detect
Yeah.
magic and I protect things.
I mean, I have utility stuff. It's just that isn't in the druid purview. Unless you
Magic,
want to send a
guys.
fish.
I desperately wanted to be magical, and now I'm starting to think that maybe magic is dumb.
Look, I mean, I can get a fish to go send a message, and that's pretty dope.
Theodore's working on his magical construct. Like, wouldn't know. Never cast a spell in my life.
What level is sending?
Why did that have like the same energy as water? Never touch the stuff. Fish fucking it.
Third level.
Yeah, it's just not a druid spell.
Wizard spell. Wizard, cleric, bard.
Yeah, literally, the closest thing I have is Skywrite or Animal Messenger.
How far can you send a animal messenger?
As far as it'll go in 24 hours.
Is there anything around here that's fast enough that we could keep going and you could send an animal messenger to Paco tomorrow?
I think Octavius might be fast enough.
But would he be able? Like, we would still be traveling.
Oh, Octavius
So-
wouldn't be.
We would
I was gonna
have-
say his speed is
30.
30.
I thought it was 6. I thought it was 60.
What if he inks out the back while he goes? Would that make him faster?
That's what makes him go 30.
That's his
Time to send this octopus into overdrive.
That's his dash action. I mean, sharks go kind of fast. I'm sure we could find a fast, like, just regular fish.
Right, but it wouldn't be able to come back to us because we would still be traveling and would then be more than 24 hours away.
So it would have to be a fish that's much faster than the ship. Is there anything like that around here?
I'm not sure. I mean, there are sharks, obviously.
I mean, I'm asking Ilferi.
Let's see.
I don't know how
Our
that compares to the speed of your
Are
ship.
swordfish native to the area? They swim at 60 miles an hour.
Swordfish, sailfish, mako sharks.
Does the animal messenger bring the animal to you?
Let me look
Also,
at the
it's a
spell.
tiny beast within range.
Yeah, swordfish might be a little large.
The little swordfish that could.
Let me take a look at.
I don't know if there'd be a tiny beast that would suit the speed requirements you guys are looking for or not.
The speedy fish.
I guess Paco's on his own. My vote's to keep going.
Yeah,
Oh.
I feel like we need to keep going.
Never mind. It just specifies they can travel about 50 miles in 24 hours.
Oh,
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 if
there
they
you go.
fly. 25 for other animals. I assume swimming and flying are like the same thing, though, right?
Even if that was the case, that wouldn't be far enough or fast enough.
Right.
Very different. One of them has a lot more resistance than the other.
what is? I forget what your speed comes to. How many miles you cover per day?
I thought it was 20 or 30.
Let's see. Because we're traveling, like... We're unrated. At a fast pace is 7 6-mile hexes per 8 hours. Actually, probably 8 because we're using oars. So 8 times 6 is 32? No,
it's 8 times
that's
4.
not right.
8 times 6 is 48.
48. Yeah. 48 miles per 8 hours.
Yeah, and it needs to be able to go to Paco and return in 24 hours.
And I'm not sure if the return is part of the spell.
Don't think it is.
Oh,
Let me
well,
check.
if
I
the
know
return
it was
doesn't
that
count,
time the druid
we
sent
can
me a
just do it.
mouse and I ate it.
No, like it might not return the message.
I think it just
that's why I would,
delivers a message.
Which could
Yeah,
still be useful for Paco.
It sends a message and then that's it.
Oh, okay. So we could still
No better
we
than
could,
skywriting.
we could
all I
send the message to Paco.
The animal
Tomorrow.
at least speaks in my voice and, says a whole phrase instead of 10
Woo!
words.
But how
In
long?
the
of a
sky.
phrase?
Fish, look out!
25.
So it's just like the message spell, but it comes out of a fish's mouth and it doesn't come back.
It
Or-
doesn't specify.
or a
Oh,
bird.
25. Yeah, 25 words.
There are seagulls.
No, I know, but my point is,
Yeah.
like, one way instead of two way.
Well, I mean, like, come
It's
on.
a second level spell.
I know literally every druid
Sorry, you
spell.
don't, Chester.
It's unfortunate that they can't cover all cases. I think my magic's pretty cool.
Cool guy.
I'm doing my best.
I suppose.
Your best isn't good enough. Sorry.
Well,
I suppose we can.
wasn't good enough.
I suppose we can send a message to Paco and head back to Flint. I do think we should head to Bowl as soon as possible.
Agreed.
I think the fastest way to do that, unless someone knows a way through the Anthros Mountains, I think the fastest way to do that is to head all the way back to Flint and take the train.
Well, there's
Yeah.
kind of a shortcut that we could take if we go through the forest.
Yeah, I mean, if we cut down that, what is that? A river?
The strait, something like that.
Up
Whatever. The
Jordan.
bay?
Yeah. I mean,
We're
it
talking
gets a
about right here.
whole lot
Yeah.
closer, and then over the mountains if there's a way.
Does anyone have a?
How long?
Are there any?
how long? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, are there any towns, any place we could port anywhere in there?
I have a detailed map of the area. Are there?
You did think
Looks
And
like-
presumably, we're having this conversation with map open.
Yeah. So we're set that we think she's going back to the APET portal?
I'm not sure, but I think we should go back there either way to seal it, like we discussed.
Yes. I think at the very least we should be doing that.
There's no there might be like a shipping port.
How long would it take us to sail back to Flint and take the train?
To sail
A
back
week
to
and a
Flint-
day?
Yeah.
Because it takes a week to sail here, so it'd be a week to sail back and then a day to take the train down.
Where did you say the port might be?
Like here.
I mean, that's close.
Yeah.
And that would be in Reeser, which would be a
In our
good place to
jurisdiction.
go.
So
Yeah.
Further
probably be
sources are-
about 2 days sailing and then about a week overland.
So it'd be about the same time.
It'd be a day faster to sail to Flint and take the train,
Assuming we don't hit any weather.
assuming we don't hit any complications traveling on land.
I'm saying, I said weather is a blanket statement
Yeah,
for either direction.
I'd say we go to Flint and take the train.
I think it's, if the timing is that close, I say it's probably better to go to Flint and debrief and then head out.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'd rather take that than gamble through terrain we don't know.
And at least on the train, we can all sleep.
Unless a Hydra attacks the train.
Hydra attacks the train, I quit.
I told you
That's
to
not
stop
until next
reading
chapter.
ahead on the adventure, Sam.
It's not reading ahead if I'm just genre savvy.
Chris, that's not until next chapter.
Right. Of course.
All right, well, let's sail into high gear. Ships don't have gears, but I've heard that before. It
High
applies
sail.
here, right?
Sure.
You say ships don't have gears, and then Theodore just looks off wistfully.
Like
Someday.
It's like,
I mean,
not yet, they don't.
the Colton
Uh,
did.
That's true.
Gross. Vomit. We saw where that got it. Attacked.
Look what it's wearing.
I thought it was the Impossible that was attacked, not the Colton.
No.
Oh, Colton.
It was the Colton that was attacked? Right, we took the Impossible to the Colt. Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
Alright.
so
Sailing back to Flint.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing we did last time, where I take the night shift and we get an extra 8 hours of sailing, just without oars.
Okay. I'm not gonna do all the checks again, but by splitting the shifts, you manage to get back in about 5 days.
Yeah, that sounds about how long it took last time too.
We're also overburdened on people. I don't know if that has any penalty.
Are you right now?
We have 16 people on the ship. We have our normal 15 plus the captain of the other ship that we rescued.
Oh, but weren't some of your soldiers lost? Or did they make it over? Or did they?
They made it.
They weren't below
They were
deck,
above
so they
deck.
totally made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for some reason. Oh no, I think they just got knocked. The ones that were on your ship got knocked out, but they would have.
Yeah.
They
been
did,
healed
yeah.
and everything. Okay. I'm not gonna penalize it too much just for one person. Just extra rations, but I think you guys had planned ahead for plenty.
We did.
Yep. We have like 2 extra days worth of rations for 15 people.
It's just
Or 4 days,
DC 13 morale checks to make sure that we don't
And I'm
Don't lower
making
morale.
food every day, which ups the morale, so we're good.
yeah.
And since this isn't a super extended journey, it'll be fine.
Yep.
So
And they're all getting paid and released at the end of this anyway.
Mm-hmm. And being paid well, might I add.
I think by my count that puts us on arriving back on the 20th. Does that line up with your notes?
20th is 5 days from when we are.
Yeah.
Fall 15th evening last time I checked.
Okay.
Yeah, so 5 days, that's right.
So you guys arrive in port. Where's our dock?
Pencil. I'm missing a D6.
Ow. All right. As you pull into the docks,
I pay the guys because I promised them a decent chunk of money,
cool. So the
which I did write down and I will look up.
I believe it was 20 gold for the voyage per person.
I think it might have been.
Big fucking snake. Yes, that's in my notes. Stealth.
Sorry, the way you were like big fucking snake, it just made me think of like SpongeBob movie. Big boot, bigger boot.
The dagger.
Oh, over the course of this whole adventure, or I mean the whole sailing thing, the staff is fully charged again.
10 gold each for the 7-day trip there and 15 for the week back. So
In fact, it was fully charged on the first day.
it was 6 guys.
Yes.
So 6 times 15.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd remembered you promising them 10 each way.
No, I upped it on the way back because I had a feeling some of them might die.
Some of you may die. That's a
But I wasn't
sacrifice.
That is a
I'm
risk
willing to
I'm
make.
willing to take.
Exactly.
Sacrifice and willing. That's it, yeah.
Alright, I paid them.
And when you arrive, there is a messenger waiting for you.
Of course.
How can we help you?
We have to quarantine you for 4 days. Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
There's a official RHC orphan delivers a message from Stovar Delft asking you to meet him at the Hard White Museum of Natural History as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Guess we're going to the Pardwright Museum of Natural History.
Sure.
I hope Professor Weber has not lost his mind.
Dude, give up. He's dead. His brain's been eaten. We're fucked.
Wow.
Optimistic Mina, as always.
Yeah.
By the way, how do you guys deal with being that small for like so long?
What?
Like
What are you talking about?
the orphan that came by. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you deal like being like that forever?
I don't know. How do you deal with living 6 years and then keeling over?
You can crawl into tighter spaces easier.
Yeah, they're great for
I mean-
industrial sabotage.
Yeah, I was about
just-
this height when I was like 30-ish.
It takes.
I got
I
this
mean,
tall
like-
at 12 and stayed this size forever. So,
I got this tall at like 1. I
yeah,
don't know.
but did your brain
How-
grow anymore?
I don't think so.
I mean, you know, I'm kind of smart. I go to school.
We have discussed the bird brain multiple times.
Anyways, to Pardwright.
The Pardwright.
Doodle-doodle-doodle.
Where are...
I don't have a newspaper to spin.
Constables go to Pardwright. 18 dead.
I mean, with your track record.
We mostly only kill people that are actively trying to kill us. Mostly.
Oh, actually, before we do the Pardwright thing, I want to change the spells I have prepared. Like, I would have done that in the morning. I just...
You had
We glossed
5
over
days.
Yeah, we glossed over it, but like... God, my spells suck.
Alright.
Well, why did you pick
Do you
such
need
a
a
shitty
minute
spell?
for that?
Yeah, just like 1 minute.
Oh yeah, and did you have any questions for the stars?
Will the New York Football Giants finally have a good season?
The New York Football Giants?
Yeah,
Yes.
the Soy Carl says it.
Let
He always says, the New York Football Giants!
me look at that spell
Oh,
again.
that's so dumb. I love
Specific goal of or activity to occur within the next day. That's the problem.
it. Oh, he's
If we head to bowl today, will we be on track with catching up with Zambria or whatever replaced her?
You have a vision of a person in a home that you recognize as being Flint, with their jaw ripped open and the roof of their mouth with a hole in it.
A home we recognize?
Just you intuitively know it as Flint.
Oh, okay. Well, we might be on the right track. Our, culprit? I don't know what to call her right now. Might have eaten someone here in Flint.
Did you tell us what your vision was?
Yeah, I'll relay the vision. Like, I'm gonna give him that information and then relay the actual vision
Choose them,
itself.
Flint.
Or the stars are saying that will happen if we leave?
That's a good point. It might be that if we leave, someone dies like that.
But we don't have any way to stop the Gedem entity, regardless. So I'm not sure what us being in the city would do.
Well, maybe we'll have more information when we get to part right.
Yeah. Let's get all the things we can, learn everything we can before we make decisions.
Are you done with your spells?
Just about. I'm switching one more.
I also changed out 1/3 of my spells.
How do we
That
know?
was one spell.
James had a vision of somebody getting their brain ate out.
Got it.
In Flint.
In Flint.
Got it.
Okay, we can go ahead. I'm good to go.
Oh, good, a battle map.
It's just a map.
Uh-huh.
With grid spaces.
For battle.
Hey, the overworld map had grid spaces, so...
Yeah, and soon we're all going to be kaiju giants and fight fucking Monster
I
X from
told
beyond
you
the
to
stars.
stop reading ahead!
Please, I want it. I want to. It's like everything I've ever wanted.
Shit, brother, I'll run that game.
Honestly, there
The
are certain
enormous
times where I
diversity.
swear that you guys did read ahead. But anyway,
I mean, frankly, with the amount of shit we talk, like, it would be shocking if we didn't get some of these right.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll have to eventually stumble dick first into being correct.
Exactly.
like if we didn't get anything right, that would be the only way you would know that we had actually read ahead.
Yeah.
You did horribly on this test. You got a 0%
Yeah, it's
on
like
a true-false test.
it's like when you're like testing somebody. It's like they somehow achieved a score below what they should have by chance.
yeah. Alright, so you arrive at the museum. Delft and Weber are there, chatting amongst each other, or themselves, whatever. There doesn't seem to be anyone else there right now.
Right now.
Quick question. Are these boats? In room 22.
Yeah, those are boats.
Rad. This museum is awesome and I want to go there.
They're ancient
in
ships,
real life.
reconstructions.
God, I love museums. Anyway.
Cool.
Alright, we got your message, Delft. What do you need? Hopefully, it's not someone who has had their brain eaten. We've kind of dealt with that a lot lately.
Well, kind of has to do with some people getting their brain eaten.
God damn it!
Good.
Well, the good news, yeah, that means it's related to our active investigation.
Stars told me about it, but I was hoping that, it was too vague and not correct or
Or
something.
hadn't happened yet?
Yeah.
Well, kind of had a feeling this might be related to the trail you were chasing. But, there's been more cases of what they're calling the distant madness cropping up around Parody Lake. Found,
Sorry, what are they calling it?
The
distant
distant
madness.
madness.
Right.
What is
Don't
it?
like that.
Compared to the Post Madness.
People have, kind of dizzy spells, trouble judging distances of things. Nothing too serious, but, it's becoming more widespread.
Right. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, for the last, 5 days, we've found a new victim each day with their, well, much like you found with our friend, Caius Berberin.
Wait, did you say for the last 5 days?
Means she bamfed right here.
Or it wasn't Zambria?
Potentially.
I think it means she bamfed right here.
But it most likely means she came right here. It's been 8.
No, it's been
No, it's
5.
been 5.
Oh.
5 days with people getting their brains eaten. How many per day?
One each day.
And anything similar between them?
Yeah, any connections?
Just the geographical.
And what is that connection?
Parody Lake District. We've increased our patrols, but haven't turned up anything.
I think there we may be able to help.
Well, as for why I had you come here, our good friend the doctor here received a bit of a disturbing letter about the time that these attacks started.
Care to share?
Dr. Weber holds out a piece of paper.
All right.
Anyone want to take this one?
Sure. Hans, help me! It followed me from the dig. It has me. I only have a moment. It wants 3 relics. Warn the constables. It talks in my mind. I know things I shouldn't, or couldn't. Its name is
Suhan.
Suhan. I hear the word get him, get him, get him, get him. People, a world, another name. A name it's curious about. Obscurati, obscurati, obscurati.
And it's snowing on Mount Fuji.
This is evidence that that she's not in control of herself.
Or the Think
Essentially.
Insider is smart enough to try to convince us of that.
Either way, we need to try to capture her.
Yep.
Killing her should be a last resort.
How do we get it out of there, though?
We're having Dr. Weber speaks up. We're having our gala in a week that I told you about that I need those relics back for. He says, nodding at the staff. And we want you to act as security for the gala.
Can I use the staff for security purposes?
The staff would be part of the display.
These relics are one of the main draws that we have for this exhibit, and without
Forgive our
them, we
partner.
lose
He's
a
very-
lot of support from
Very
our.
attached.
Sorry.
So please forgive our partner. He's very attached to his things.
Well, as you recall, they're not yours. I had shown you the
Oh, I know.
documentation showing my ownership.
I'll happily relinquish
No,
mine.
no, I get it. It's just, it's been very, very helpful in keeping us alive. But I don't have a choice, I suppose. Fuck.
But we
I'm
do
gonna be
have
so bad at combat.
we do have a week. So hopefully we can find a solution before then. But of course we will presuming it is okayed with the RHC, of course, nodding to Delft. We will, or at least I would be happy to be security for the gala.
Delph nods, thanks at you.
Wants 3 relics. Oh, it wants what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Iltheri.
Let's see, warn the constables.
Right,
Yeah.
well, I was thinking maybe some other relics. I just,
No,
Almost
one.
certainly not.
He's catching up.
Bird brain, right?
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's clearly why it went after Caius in the first place.
Seems likely.
Either
so
way,
these relics obviously do something more than what we were able to figure out.
possibly. It's hard to say for sure.
Powers combined, can you summon Captain Planet?
Captain
Give me that
Planet.
sword.
No.
Damn it.
I
Yeah, we'll never know.
It does seem that the sword and the staff are have some way to render the Githam entities vulnerable, based on what we learned at the Temple of Apet.
Right?
I thought they just had to think at it.
Well, the one with the staff thought at the thing.
Alright, so we have a week with these and then we need to bring it back? Or do you want them now?
Delph says, I think it's best if we put them in the, what did they call it?
Repository?
The royal safe hold.
It might be better if we hold on to them.
At least we could draw it out that way.
Exactly.
Well, if
In the
anything,
royal safe hold.
well, if we keep them in the safe hold, then we'll have guards on it 24/7, and we'll have the time, or we'll have the location, or the location advantage if something attacks before the gala. If you're out and about investigating on town, there's no telling when you could be jumped.
I agree with Delft. It makes more. It's more tactically advantageous to have it near the highest concentration of constables.
You're of course welcome to take shifts on duty, if you'd like.
Fair. So we have a week to prep for this. Is that what we're saying? Are we trying to make sure that no one else's brain gets eaten in this time? Because if the pattern holds, we've got, what, 7 more brains that'll be devoured?
Well, we're gonna definitely increase our patrols and try to figure out the bottom of this, figure out where it's hiding out, but that
Have
may
we-
be a possibility.
Not to be that constable. Have we checked Zambria's apartment?
Doesn't seem as if she's been back since around the time you guys left.
Keep eyes on it.
Of course.
Delft, may I speak with you a moment?
Of course.
All right, look, I think the lady inspectress is into me. How do I let her down gently?
Has Lady Inspector Saxby been acting unusual lately, in your estimation?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. She's been more uptight ever since the chief inspector came into town, but why? What's up?
As we noted in our report from the night of the gala, or from the night of the mayor's party, we found a trail indicating that the entity that we have been chasing, that we believe to be controlling Zambria Meredith's body, had entered Inspector Saxby's home.
I did notice her security seems to be tighter around her home.
I warned her of the potential danger, but I worry that that her. How do I want to phrase this? This is Carter not knowing how Zeodora would phrase this. I worry that she may not be taking the threat as seriously as she should.
Well, like I said, she has heightened security around her home, but I'm not sure what more we can do for her right now.
Lock her
But, well, just about to inform the rest of you, but she's been wanting to speak with you all rather urgently.
Seriously.
Really?
Probably the sooner the better.
Of course.
Understood.
In other news, the sun came up today.
Well, at least we have our next course of action.
Because it'll be super useful.
Yay.
He
Can't wait
walks
for her to tell us to stop investigating all these murders.
back over to the rest of you. Go ahead and leave the artifacts with me. I'll make sure they get to... Whoa, where'd Theodore go?
I don't know.
He just like slid
I was wondering
away.
about it also.
Theodore already used instant transmission to get over to the cellular.
Here we go. Should probably make your way back to speak with the Lady Inspectress. She'll be waiting for you, I believe. I'll take the relics to the safe hold and we'll go from there.
Understood.
Here you go. Here's the amulet. I mean, the amulet's fine, but... Oh, God. My combat abilities.
Just get better combat abilities.
Yeah, just get good.
If it were me, I would simply be good at combat.
Alright.
May I recommend 2 levels in fighter?
It works for me.
Works for everyone.
Wait, 2 levels? What?
Yeah, 2 levels. Exactly 2.
Can I dip 2 while I'm a fighter?
I'm a fighter 2, fighter 5.
I mean, I would just be like fighter 2, fighter 2, fighter 2, fighter 2, fighter 2.
Fighter 3, fighter 2, fighter 2, fighter 2.
Oh, but you gotta be at least fighter 5 once for extra attack.
That's true. That's true. But no, you cannot. You can't get a class. You cannot multi-class into a class you already have
Why the fuck not?
because of exactly this.
Alright. So are you guys doing anything else before heading back to the office?
No, we better go talk to the boss.
She said it was urgent.
You have 1,200 messages, all marked urgent.
How could they all be urgent?
Take care of yourself, Weber.
Yeah, look out for Zambria. If you see her, run.
He
Honestly, if
takes
he
a look at
sees her, that might be too late.
the note again and is like, yes, I think that's a good idea.
You want to hide in the vault? Can he hide in the vault?
I don't believe there's a restroom in the vault.
Could come stay with my dad. No one would expect you to be there.
We'll position
That's-
some,
And my dad's
Ooh.
got a lot of guns.
we'll position some men with him to make sure he stays safe.
Okay.
A few officers should be fine. Just make sure that no matter what you do, if you see Zambria Meredith or something that looks like her, do not engage no matter what.
What if she is pie?
In that case, do not engage no matter what. If you're about to ask if it's really good pie,
It's probably made of brains.
take one slice and then run.
Take
Butterscotch
one
cinnamon pie.
rest in your brain, then run.
Cinnamon
make
covered
it-
brains, my favorite.
You could probably make a good sheep's brain pie, actually.
Ugh.
Probably.
I mean, it's just like shepherd's pie, just with brain.
I can't do brain. Like, psychologically, I cannot.
I don't want to eat it, but it doesn't gross me out.
It grosses me out.
The
It's
texture is a little weird, to
It's
be
one of
honest.
only 2 body parts that grosses me out at the thought of eating it.
What's the other one?
Heart. Something about the heart and head. I don't want anything to do with it. They're too vital.
Ooh,
I bet
heart
chickens
is-
are kind of an interesting texture, but you can basically eat them like nuggets.
hearts are delicious.
I
Beef
know
heart
that-
is so good.
That's fair. I just can't. I cannot psychologically get over that jump.
That's fair.
Anyway.
I was just thinking about beef hearts.
Great.
Tongue is also good.
So
Tongue's
you guys make it back to the office. Are you heading straight to Saxby's office, or?
Yep.
I think it's best that we do.
Yes.
That's where we're going.
Let's see how she tries to obstruct us now. Cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Chris, is there something we should be doing that we're all forgetting about?
I don't know. I just wasn't sure if you're like gonna go check on your own offices, check your messages, catch up
No,
with
fuck my
chat.
messages.
Or, like,
Do we have a fantasy
Friends.
answering machine?
not
Hey,
an answering
That's
machine,
a real
but,
question.
but you have a memo like.
You know what? He's trying real hard, guys. Let's go check our desks and
No.
messages.
No,
Literally
because
just asking
whatever's on my desk, Lady Inspectress is gonna override it and tell me not to do that thing. So I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go talk to the lady first.
She
Alright.
did say it was urgent. We can check our desks afterwards.
It's not like in
Okay.
a couple hours it's gonna make a difference on those messages.
I
Besides,
doubt talking to the lady inspectress will take a couple hours.
in case she needs to send us off to do something right away.
Oh, that's fair.
Also, Shovels is taking care of Octavius, getting him all set up, so like
getting him
he
set
needs
up.
to be here. You know, going and getting an aquarium and all that.
How? How?
He has money, he can talk. He buys an aquarium, he has people come up and set it up, and then, you know.
He just hires movers to take
Yeah.
the aquarium with the live octopus in it.
No,
up
he's got
a
the live
mountain.
octopus in a barrel, and they set up the aquarium, and then they put the water in, and then they
Who's
put...
moving the barrel?
Strong enough to... Yeah, who's carrying the barrel?
We got crew members!
Barrel.
We didn't pay them for
carry
this.
my octopus barrel.
They're done.
Yeah, they're gone, man.
Shovels can pay them! Shovels is money.
Jim, Shrubbles doesn't have money. Shrubbles is money.
Shovels also has money. He has 15 gold.
He is the money. He has the money.
He has 15 gold.
That's how much I paid sailors for a 7-day voyage.
Right, that's gonna pay for like an aquarium, having people haul stuff up to the house, having it set up, any like aquarium things he needs. And then he has some extra money just in case.
So anyway, let's go talk to the boss.
Cool. So you go into Saxby's office, and she and goes, I was about to send messengers to fetch you. I'd heard you were back in town.
Yeah,
As of about an hour ago, yes.
Well, wait just over there. The Lord Viscount should be by shortly for your, to complete your audit.
Wait, what?
Audit of what?
I see. Yeah, of course, ma'am. And Theodore goes and stands over there.
Audit of what?
Of us as a
She-
team.
She
The-
just goes back to, like, working on paperwork. She does not
Now
respond to you.
is the time for this?
In the Lord Viscount's speech, he did say he was going to audit the teams. It must be our turn.
And now is the time for our team?
I doubt it will take long.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
I gotta go to my desk really quick.
It has
I'll be right
been.
She glares daggers at you.
I will be
If you keep
right
the Lord
back.
Viscount waiting even a moment, it'll be your head.
It has been. What has it been? It's been like 2 weeks since the Viscount's speech.
Oh yeah.
It has been about 2 weeks. I imagine
Closer
that-
to Sorry, wasn't it like the 1st or 2nd of fall, and now it's fall 20?
I'm running to my desk. I'm grabbing the paperwork for the ring and just like shoving it in my bag and then running back.
Point is, I imagine that.
Jack is like
Good call.
to a couch and like half laid down and pulled his hat down and it's just like nap smoking.
I was just talking to Mina. I imagine
There
that
aren't other
our
chairs,
inspection-
Jack.
Oh, something wrong said like a couch.
I imagine our inspection would have come sooner had we been here. It probably would have been more inconvenient for the Lord Viscount to sail out to where we were.
Yeah, I'm reviewing my notebook, and he gave his speech on the 1st of fall, and it's fall 20. So yeah, to be fair, it's been like 3 weeks.
I'm going. You said there's no chairs at all.
Nope. She's sitting in.
I'm going to. Man, you know, I'm gonna do this
Cool.
right in
Is
her
there a
office.
window?
Fuck her. I'm gonna dump out my water skin and freeze it into a chair.
Is there a window?
Yes, there are windows.
Cool. Jack is smoking next to the window to be polite.
Okay.
Theodore is just standing at attention where he was told to wait.
Mina's standing, but in that pose where her shoulders are on the wall and her foot's propped up.
The cowboy pose.
Yep, cowboy pose.
Alright. Oh,
You even got the guns to match.
I do.
Yeehaw.
High noon.
one second.
Yeah, I could definitely make a 5-foot cube of water into a chair.
For you, absolutely.
Do you have a 5-foot cube of water in your water skin?
Yeah, that's a lot of water, bro.
I mean, I'm making it into like a stool. I'm sure there's enough water in there to make a stool.
Is it
For his
melting under
bird
your
frame,
bird
yes.
butt?
No, it stays frozen for an hour.
It's just freezing his bird butt.
I'm used to it.
Cut to 3 minutes later, Ilferi's inner monologue. I'm freezing my cloaca off.
Okay, so here's something. It's not actually important, but I want to know. It says I freeze the water. It unfreezes in an hour. And then prestidigitation, I can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material. Can I warm the ice seat? But it stays frozen?
I'm just trying to find.
Can I have a
something.
heated ice seat?
That's an interesting DM call.
A heated ice seat?
So, the with shape water, it unfreezes in an hour. And with prestidigitation, I can heat up to 1 cubic foot of an object. So can I have heated, frozen chair?
No. If you heat it, then it melts.
But it unfreezes in an hour.
It unfreezes on its own in an hour.
Yeah. It also
Outside
unfreezes
stimulus.
if it's applied with heat, because it's ice.
Well, that was worth a shot. It's magic, you know?
After a few minutes, a woman comes in that you haven't seen before. Oh, I have to make it as a handout.
Okay, she does have a face.
She may not die today.
Or she's gonna die, and she's her death is very important to us.
Right, but at least it will be important, right?
Right.
Like, that's a step up.
And hands a stack of papers to the lady inspectress.
Her name is Mysterious Note.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Lauren.
And then Lauren.
Lauren. With a Y. Oh, bad. a name. This note.
Lauren with a Y. Yaren. Okay.
Theodore keeps his opinions about this shifty-looking person to himself.
Lauren here had been assigned.
Queen, you should not speak to this commoner.
Lauren here had been assigned to be your tail for the past few weeks. And
Wow.
All that way? That's impressive.
Oh, were you one of our soldiers? Are you like a master of disguise?
Give me.
Or were you?
Give me
Go
a insight check.
Okay.
Or were you observing
24.
us magically?
What was your check?
24 insight.
She vaguely resembles one of the crewmen that you hired.
Very impressive.
Wait, did I fucking pay you?
She snickers.
You owe me 25 gold.
Why? I rendered services and was paid for them.
Yeah, but you were already being paid by her.
She still did the work.
Shut up. You didn't add into the pot. I paid that out of my own pocket.
You didn't ask.
Fuck you, Jack.
I bought the fucking boat.
Well, I bought the boat too. Anyways.
Saxby is pouring over some paperwork that's been handed
Theodore
to her, along with
extends his
another
hand.
stack.
Theodore extends his hand. Nice to meet you, Lauren.
She just nods. She doesn't take your hand.
Hope we didn't work you too hard on the oars there.
Saxby looks up from some of the paperwork. Morgan Cipriano. Interesting that you'd associate yourself with such a man.
What?
As indicated in our previous reports, he has proven to be an asset to our investigations.
Also, I didn't meet with Cipriano. I met with the guy who is the cobbler for him, and my shoes were amazing at that party. Thank you very much.
I think you'd know from experience that our line of work makes strange bedfellows.
A constable must always be vigilant of those that they work closely with, especially known criminals.
Pretty shoes! And great coffee.
I also have a report here of a ring that was recovered from a ship raid that was not returned.
Yes, I have
Or
the paperwork
reported?
right here. I just was a little late on the paperwork. I have it here.
It
Pull it
says
out of my
here
bag.
that the ring was recovered early summer.
Very late on the paperwork. I apologize. But here it is.
Mm-hmm. There's also been some reports of some rough behavior with certain witnesses in the past.
Like who?
Cut eyes at Jack.
Oh shit, right.
Who?
He shot off what's her face's
A little more than
Finger.
a witness.
hand. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Suspect then.
Fair.
Nothing extreme that requires your retirement, but I do recommend that you keep things in check.
I am a perfect constable.
We will be sure to review our methods.
Looks down her nose at you.
Fuck you, bitch. Said inside her head, not out loud.
I heard that.
The door opens and the Lord Viscount Inspector Nigel Prince Hill walks in. Ah, yes. The illustrious constable team that helped us take down that crooked mare.
Lord Viscount.
Good
do we
afternoon.
salute him or like
We
this?
did
This is James.
that
Do
horse.
we have like a respectful motion we make at him?
Yeah, like a salute would be appropriate.
Yeah, I'll salute him. I'm not saluting Saxby, but I'll salute him.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I appreciate your help with getting that boat. It's come in very handy already.
Oh, I'm glad. I can't wait to read the reports about your adventures on the high seas.
It was memorable.
I have to say, reading your reports always puts me in good spirits. I like the work that you've been doing here in town.
Thank you, sir.
Just gonna glance at Saxby.
Saxby, you've got some good constables here. She glares at him. Yes, sir, of course.
Well, we do our best.
I've got high hopes for you. I'm gonna be leaving here in just a few days, but I hope to see you in a few months before the Peace Summit.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll get involved somehow.
I'm sure you will, he says, just like kind of nose tap. And then he
Did you have any questions for
turns
us?
to leave.
Oh, never mind. I guess not.
If nobody's gonna stop
good
him
day.
or ask anything.
I mean,
Review complete.
hold on. What was Ilferi's alignment again?
Bird?
Oh,
Pirate?
it's a bad day when when your players ask that question.
You're a bird. The answer is chaotic asshole.
It's neutral. It's just neutral. Hey, do you know why Saxby is like? I don't know. She just seems very upset a lot. Is there anything that we can do as an exemplary constabulary team that could help
Jack,
ease
as
her?
usual, just kind of looks a little fairy like, what the fuck, man? Just. It's like I look at my new employees.
Saxby,
Nina appreciates the question.
he turns, Saxby, is there, are there matters that these constables have, been neglecting? And,
Just anything we can do to help out,
she stands and nods at him. Sir, we've just been finished discussing the areas that they need improvement in. And he nods and says, very good. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
She closes the folder that she had open, drops it in a drawer, and says, you are all dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Lady Inspectors.
Yeah.
I don't say anything.
Once we're outside, I trust him less than I do Saxby.
Really?
He likes me.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty fond of him.
And makes the knife easier in the cut.
Listen. He has almost nothing to do with my day-to-day life. That bitch, however, makes my life so much more difficult. Also, you do too. Stop shooting, suspects. Unless you're gonna kill them, because they're trying to kill us, then that's fine. But, rein it in.
Yes, but once we're out of earshot, I do agree with Jack. Something about the Lord Viscount does strike me as odd.
Because
Fair.
he genuinely enjoys his job. I know that's rare, but that doesn't make him bad.
It's easy to enjoy your job when you're that rich and powerful.
Perhaps it's nothing, but We should keep our eyes open, at the very least, as long as he is around. With Saxby, at the very least, we know where she stands.
Do we?
Yeah, she stands in the thorn bush that is in our foot.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Some weird ass shit went by her house, and we're not sure where she stands with that. So I don't know where she stands.
That's true. But either way, we have two courses of action, and we need to decide on them. Because people are dying in Parody Lake. We are relatively certain that it's the work of the Gedem entity controlling the body of Zambria Meredith.
Mm.
We can track it by trying to follow the Apet energy, but it's unreliable inside the city.
Fair.
Still, the four of us have a better chance of finding the Gedem entity than certainly any of the other RHC teams, and likely than anyone else in the city at the moment.
Yeah.
But that assumes that we could actually find and stop it. On the other hand, we could go. It would only take a few days, but it would take a few days, and we only have a week. But we could go back to the Temple of Apet to seal the portal, and properly this time, which may cut the Gedem entity off from the energy of Apet, may prevent something more from coming through.
Every day we're gone is someone else dead.
And
I think we need to put the entity back in there before we close it.
that's what I was gonna say. Given what Ilfarius told us, I'm not sure that we necessarily have to put it back, but I think we need to sever it from Zambria, because I think she might be its physical tie to this plane, before we can close that and destroy its connection to its home plane or send it back. I think we need to stay here, and Bull comes after, maybe? But I don't like risking going out there and coming, like, wasting all that time. It's too risky.
Not to mention, if we return without the Gedem entity, the
Big ass snake might eat us all?
may not be too happy, yeah. At the very least, I don't think Ilfari would make it.
Probably not.
Let's see how pissed we can get it.
So, with all that in mind, what are we going to do about Parody Lake? Jack, that's your turf. What do you think?
I'll ask around and see what I can find, but there's got to be some connection between these victims. That's our best place to start, at least. Even if it's only hunting in Parody Lake, that means it's got to be headquartered, or it's got to have picked it for a reason.
It's been in Parody Lake this whole time, yeah? Right?
I think originally they were from all over the victims were all over the city, right?
Yeah.
Here. Let me look.
There's another killer in Parody Lake. The Ragman's in Parody
Shit,
Lake.
I put it on my my board.
Your crazy
1 second.
board.
But as far as we're aware, they're not connected.
I mean, it's possible that Parody Lake is basically just LA in the 70s, and there's 6 serial killers running around at once.
It's just a central district.
Do we at least know, like, what time of day they've been killed? Like, maybe we can at least narrow it down to when we should be watching.
That's possible. Do we have, like, coroner's reports on them?
You can get those.
Oh,
Cool.
before I
Let's get those.
Yes. Before I leave, I hand in the requisition form that I filled out on the boat,
Cool.
which you have.
You guys also have a salary waiting for you, 300.
Hey!
Hell yeah.
And
I was starting to get broke.
anything else like that? That's about it.
I think we should be.
I need to head to the requisition, or I guess kind of the requisition place, wherever we would turn in magic items.
Quartermaster, yeah.
Sure. I have this form. I have to turn this ring in, but I kind of need to keep it for a little bit. Can I just hold on to the paperwork, or give you the paperwork and hold on to the ring just like for a little bit longer, like a week?
They take a look at the paperwork. This is overdue by nearly a season.
Guard duty in a week, and like we're pretty sure that something that eats brains is going to attack, and like it would be really helpful if you'd let me keep it for that.
Well, I might need to run it by Saxby, and
She's aware. You don't need to tell her any. Like we just had our thing,
Audit.
the audit with her. Like she's aware. She knows we have guard duty coming.
oh wait,
up.
you're Elferi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually just got a memo. I'm definitely supposed to take that ring away from you.
Could you say you did and not for a week, please?
I like my job, and I assume you do too.
I do, but like rings are small. They could get lost easily for a week.
Are you
For
asking me
just
to
a week.
lie?
I'm asking you to omit information temporarily for 1 week.
I think this is perjury.
It's only perjury if you have
It's
to go
only
to court.
perjury if someone asks you about it. And even then,
So, like, every day where I turn in my reports of what was turned in and stuff, and I don't
Hey.
write down, and there's
Alright,
note
so I'll
right
keep the
here that says
paperwork.
specifically to not let you leave the building with that ring.
Theodore's words echo in Elferi's mind. You're not a pirate anymore.
look, I'll just take the paperwork back and you never saw me. That could work.
He's just, like, signaling for some guards now.
Hey, I have nothing to do with this. Will you take this requisition form? I haven't stolen anything.
Yeah, I just need to deal with this. Can we,
I just don't want to die, okay? Like, do you get it? That I'm about to fight something, probably, that eats
Elfberry,
brains.
if
we're
you
all
die,
fighting things that eat brains.
Lammy, Ilferi,
Lammy.
I always called you my cat's name because my cat is an asshole, and you're being a little bit of an asshole. Ilferi,
Amazing.
if you die, I'll
does
come
like
back
live
and
in-
kick his ass.
He does like to live in a high place.
Also,
Yes?
Uh-oh.
the Lemmy.
Oh. Carter?
Carter,
Huh?
He chopped
you
out.
froze.
Oh,
Frozen
weird.
chopped
I was
out.
fine. Yeah,
Oh,
you were
you're
all
coming
fine
back.
on me. Am I back?
I think so.
fine.
You're a little
Catch up.
robot-y, but
I think
it's
it was
clearing
a
up.
Tax storm. Am I okay now?
no.
No, I don't. No, that's terrible.
You sound like you're being
Um,
auto-tuned. No!
Let me try disconnecting and reconnecting.
Okay, no.
Real quick.
Let me try disconnecting.
Take my requisition form.
He takes the requisition form.
Thank you. Do whatever you want to the bird.
I reluctantly pull off the ring. Do you have, like, a replacement I could use? Like, do you have a cloak? I'll requisition it. I don't know if we have requisitions open, but, like... Do we? I don't
You
think we do.
can requisition an item during an adventure, but it uses the requests system. Or whatever it's called.
My requisition form is for next season, so.
You can requisition, let's see, you guys have prestige level 2?
Good question. Let me check.
Okay, am I back? And can you see the camera?
We cannot see
We
the
can
camera,
hear
but
you.
you are back.
Yeah.
Weird.
We just see your, like, avatar.
Red panda.
Yeah.
Little red panda.
But according to Discord, my camera is on.
There it
There
is.
it is.
There we go.
Huzzah.
Yeah,
I didn't
you're
do
correct.
anything.
You're too.
So
It
as
was just
a
loading.
level 3 favor, you can requisition a common magic item, or a level 4, you can requisition an uncommon magic.
Uncommon magic item is like.
So your prestige plus
Uncommon.
1 takes a day. Your prestige plus 2 takes a week.
Well, okay.
And you
week.
can make a check to lower it by 1 step.
Yeah, I'll try and lower it by a step.
So what do you
Yes,
get a requisition?
I would like to requisition a cloak of protection,
Which is uncommon.
which is uncommon.
Okay. So it will take typically a week. But if
Okay.
you make a check, which is DC 8 plus 2 per level of the favor plus 2 per previous favor. So this is a level 4. So it's
Yeah.
a DC 12 charisma persuasion.
Okay. I got a 50% chance of doing that. Well, that's 8.
All right. Then
1 week.
it'll take a week to get.
All right. Well, at least I'll have it in time before guard duty.
While they're doing this, while they're having that scene, Theodore and Jack are planning for the next step.
Yeah, I'm getting coroner reports.
I think Theodore and Jack went to the police station to get coroner's reports.
Cool.
Because Theodore and Jack don't get paired up very often.
All right, so you're able to get some information on the victims of brain suckage.
No,
No?
not like that. No, nope. Mm-mm. Try
Brain
again.
drainage?
Better. Less bad.
Brain drainage.
All right, so let's start cross-referencing these for anything that links up, other than, of course, cause of death. We'll also check cause of death on all of them, too.
Brain removal.
Brain
removal.
drainage.
Right.
Brain removal. And COVID-19?
Damn.
COVID 500.
It's over.
Oh, but it says
9,000!
But it says they had an underlying condition of missing brain. So, like,
It's a pre-existing condition.
yeah.
Anyway,
Oh man, that's not gonna get covered by insurance.
any dang way. Give me an investigation check.
Theodore, do you want to just assist me, or what's yours?
I think we have the same bonus actually. So
I
I
have
was just going. I also have a +6, and I rolled a 25.
I rolled a 17.
All right. Like before, there don't seem to be a lot of patterns here. They do seem to be geographically around the Paradis Lake district, but nothing else really stands out. The deaths usually occur at night, but there are a few outliers.
Geographically speaking, any kind of pattern to them.
Not like a physical like shape or anything. No.
Yeah.
Or even just like clustered, or even just like
Or-
happen to be near the shore or far away from the shore, or clustered in an area.
in like a line, or are they
Nothing
all
significant.
across? Okay.
We're going to have to canvass the area.
Time
Yeah.
of death?
He
That was
said
one of the things we said we were going to check.
Chris said mostly at night. Mostly.
Like 4 of them were at night, but 1 of them was during the day.
So,
Like
it's
middle of the day, or like just after dawn, or just before dusk.
Mid-afternoon.
Well, I mean, we don't really know when, like,
You're not here for this.
no, but Catherine is. We don't really know when Bergeron died because he wasn't found for several days.
Yeah.
it would make sense that the Gedem entity would be traveling at night, but it's no guarantee. We might have to take shift. No, we can't take shifts. We need to make sure that we're all together. There's no way we can face the Gedem, and any of us can face the Gedem entity alone.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Detect Planar Energy as a ritual.
Okay.
And we might just have to go over to Parody Lake and look.
Yeah. Between you, me, and Ilferi, hopefully we can find at least a trace of the trail.
Yeah.
We better go grab the others and head over.
Yeah.
All right.
Log. Copy.
You guys are gonna kill us.
Turn.
I mean, me. I've already died once. It sucked.
You'll be fine.
You have to fear for dying again.
Yeah, you're basically immortal.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
Plus, you already did it once. What matters if you do it again?
It was not great. Not pleasant.
I mean,
Will not
you
do
did
it again.
You did it once, and you're still alive. By
Yeah.
my reckoning, that warrants doing it again.
Fairy's garbage bird. Yeah, don't forget you're still eating garbage.
I know. I was trying to figure out a way to work it in naturally. Without just feel like, and then I pull out a dead fish head and eat it.
Oddly enough, if one of us was going to eat Saxby's garbage, it would be Zeodor.
Wow.
I mean, does she have a Patreon?
OnlyFans.
Lewd.
Brandon Sanderson does not approve.
What can I get stuck up my butt today?
You have a cloaca?
I'm talking about Saxby, not Ilferi.
Have you checked? Maybe she is a cloaca.
Birds have cloacas, but they also have buttholes, yes?
No, it's just
They have
one hole.
One thing for,
Oh, you're
for all.
right.
Interesting.
It all
It's
comes out in the same place. You're correct.
So
I'm sorry.
birds are pooping on me through their fuck hole?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
and
Snakes too.
some birds have penises and some don't. The ones that don't just kind of like rub cloacas together. Which, interestingly, the chicken is among those, which means that a cock has no cock.
I'm uncomfortable.
Interesting.
Anyway, so
So, Jack, is Ilferi a penis bird or a cloaca bird?
We're not talking about this.
well, he doesn't wear
Another
pants.
chicken.
Answer the question, James.
Ilferi doesn't wear pants, you guess.
I don't think he has to guess.
Sorry, you decide.
Is it one of those exploding corkscrew pieces like a duck?
Yeah.
Ooh!
Can we please play
Don't forget the barbs. Don't forget the
This
barbs.
is playing Dungeons and Dragons, turns out.
I was about to say, we were discussing the anatomy of Aarakocra.
I'm not Nerakakra.
Oh, right.
Varian.
Any
Anyway,
goddamn way.
Male parents do not have penises.
Jack and Zeno arrive back at the offices talking about duck penises.
They're horrifying.
That's fascinating information, Jack. I never knew that. Oh, hi guys. So we think that the
To do.
Ilfairy's gonna die. Again.
I could have told you that.
Well, I mean, extra hard this time.
My magic item allows me to communicate in a weird language for an hour with another willing person.
I see. Still, I think that we Jack and I discussed it, and we think that the best course of action is for us to go to Parity Lake as a group. It means that it will be harder for us to canvass the area, but it also means that none of us will be caught alone.
You said canvas it at night?
Well, I just said canvass the area.
Oh.
Yeah,
Obviously,
keep
as
a
a
ritual
group,
for Aped energy, any kind of trace we can find.
Okay.
obviously as a group, we're not going to be able to canvass 24/7. So
So are we doing this at night?
certainly partly at night. Basically, we need to pick 8 hours that we're not going to be doing it. The time stamps didn't show much of a pattern. Most of the attacks were at night, so we definitely need to be at night.
It looks
But,
like afternoon and night, and morning is when it's not happening. So if we want to start off with that kind of schedule,
Right.
At least so far. It makes sense to me. So we'll go out tonight and get rest in the morning, I suppose.
So we'll sleep from like 7 a.m. until 3?
it's not the worst plan.
Maybe 5? 5 to 1?
5 to
I
1
don't know.
could work.
I don't know. It's just, I always feel like right on the cusp there is when weird shit happens.
We'll just, we can play it by ear. Maybe just
Tell you what, we'll do
go to
5
bed after sun.
Next day we'll do 6 to 2, and then 7 to 3.
Whatever.
Could be
Man,
good.
my old teacher
Okay.
used to be able to go like days without sleeping.
You wanna
Can't
call
wait
them
till
up?
I get that.
I should tell my dad I'm back in town.
Probably.
I'm gonna make sure that Troubles is all set up with Octavius, and then we're gonna come down here and look at our paperwork.
Shall we all meet? Shall we all meet in Parity Lake location in 2 hours?
You should,
Yeah, that
you probably
bakery.
meet me at my place, and we'll.
Hopefully they have some like
staging ground.
wheat gold bread.
Did you guys hear me?
What?
Yeah, your
Yep.
place.
Just come to my place. We'll use that as a staging ground.
Sounds good. We'll see you there at 2 hours from now.
Cool.
I check my paperwork on my desk on my way by and then go check in with my dad.
Yeah, I'll check any messages, and then I'll head to my place, rest before these chuckle fucks go up.
I'm going to go to the workshop and spend a couple hours working on that golem.
Setting up an
Power
aquarium.
All right, sounds good all around.
I did deduct 15 gold for what Troubles has, by the way.
Yeah, so there don't seem to be, outside of what you've already been told, there doesn't seem like too much has changed while you guys are out of town. Mina, your dad has just been working. He's actually been pretty busy because of the gun show is still going on. So there's, just a lot of interest.
Not worried
Oh
about
yeah,
it. Just need to check in.
I totally forgot that that festival is still happening.
Still happening?
It's been a busy month.
I think it's happening all month.
Yep.
Fairy, you managed to get together the stuff you need to set up a little aquarium in your abode. for Octavian.
Aquarium, James.
What?
How big is the aquarium needed for an octopus?
I mean, it's a small octopus, so probably like 10 by 6 or something like that.
Animal
10 by 6
cruelty.
by 6.
Also, my DM from my other game said if you would like him to cameo as the octopus, he's more than happy to.
Okay.
He's got a character that's a wizard that is an octopus in a bucket.
Oh, right.
It is a 75-gallon tank. The water is kept at about 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
How big is your home?
Like half of a boat in a mountain.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's up in nowhere where land is cheap.
Yeah, and he somehow got a boat there.
I think it was
It's basically Kennesaw.
So yeah, you've got your little aquarium set up. Shrubbles seems pretty fascinated. Sometimes he'll like climb in and like root into the bottom of the aquarium and just like, you know, shrub around.
If you want
Sure.
to take him out, you can, but not for like too long. Like 30 minutes at most.
I don't want you to prune.
No, I'm saying he can take the octopus out. Octopuses can hold their breath for 30 minutes. Like, 30 minutes at the longest, but, maybe 15 if he's, like, feeling adventurous. But don't stress him out. Don't get in his space too much,
James comes home, Larry comes home and finds them locked in Mortal Kombat. There can be only one.
Theodore, you get some more work on the golem done. It's still a pretty massive amount of work to kind of chart out everything that was found, and like trying to reverse engineer schematics and stuff. But you're still making progress on it.
Okay. By the way, I still have that condition that you messaged me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, because that's kind of how I've been acting. I haven't had a chance to like really act on it that I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean there hasn't been a lot, I guess, of opportunity lately, but
But I have been working under the assumption that that was still in effect.
Yeah.
Since it affects roleplay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure.
Jack, I forgot what you said you were doing.
I'm just going home.
Okay. Cool. What is your home?
I think he lives above a bar.
Nice. Everybody knows your name.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Jack!
As he just walks past them and goes upstairs.
They do this every time he comes downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little unsettling.
It literally is just the Norm bit from Cheers. Yeah. Fraser Crane its first words.
And then you all reconvene at the appropriate time and location.
Hooray!
Was there anything in our paperwork that was relevant? Or like the papers that were on our desk? I did say that after I set up the aquarium, I was planning on going through that.
Oh, yeah, nothing major. I mean, it was like the your paychecks and like I don't think you guys had set up any follow-ups on anything while you were gone, but
Okay.
there's
No,
some
well, the only
newspapers
thing,
which tell what you already now know.
yeah, the only thing was that we had asked Cipriano to keep an eye on things.
Oh yeah, I guess Mina would have gotten a letter from him, along the lines of, I guess I missed you before you went out of town. By the time you get back, information I have probably won't be relevant anymore, but feel free to reach out to me anytime. Here's a bag of coffee.
Fuck yes! Thank you, Cipiano.
Alright, cool. Then we convene at the bar.
At Jack's place. Well, oh right, we're above the bar.
My place above the bar.
Nothing suspicious about 4 constables walking into a bar and then going immediately upstairs?
So, anybody had any better ideas than us just canvassing Parody Lake for hours on end?
And this thing.
I cast Goodberry, and I pass them out. This is
Thank
one
you.
good idea.
For these weird reasons.
Good
Stash
reasons.
Stash the good berries. The only way we could be more effective is if we split up, but I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
Whatever this thing is, it's probably going to try to kill us.
Yes.
So I think it would be better if we stayed together. See, this is the problem I keep running into. I think I already mentioned that the thing is. Have I mentioned what Theodore's thing is? Because if not, I guess I'll keep it
I
secret.
don't think you have.
I
No.
don't think you have.
Okay, then I'll keep it secret. Never mind.
Keep it safe.
I'm gonna cast Detect Planar Energy for a pet.
Okay.
I am also casting Detect Planar Energy for a pet.
Okay.
I am adjusting Koku's ocular sensors to detect planar energy for a pet.
Sounds good.
I hope
think-
they can
Actually-
all see a pet.
Huh? Actually,
I hope they can all see a pet.
yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm thinking about setting Koku to
Mavisha?
yes,
Or-
thank you.
You're welcome.
It might not.
I
be.
couldn't remember if it was Mavisha or Mashiva. Like my brain was doing the thing where it's like both of these are correct.
Yeah.
It's Marsha, remember?
Marsha,
Yeah.
Marsha.
Marsha, Jeff. I think Jeff is the only one of those that's going to stick because Chris literally told us to call it Jeff.
Ned.
I don't remember that, but
I have video evidence.
I can't stop you.
I mean, I suppose that's also true. Anyway, no, I think that it's better if we all just go for a pet. Gives us a better chance because we know that the spell is unreliable inside the city because the energy gets swirled so much. So I think it's better if we're just all doing it. That gives us a better chance of one of us catching it.
And then we're gonna be out at night. I could give us both dark vision so that we can see.
I mean, there should be enough street lights and everything else that.
It could be a good idea, just in case we need to look or chase down an alleyway.
Let me just check really quick. Do I have animals that have dark vision? Spider has dark vision. Big spider has dark vision. That's it.
Huh. Do you not have like a cat form?
Cats
Also,
don't
did-
have dark vision.
Cats don't have dark vision.
Weird.
Really?
Right?
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It's one that throws me for a loop every fucking time.
They have keen smell, but no dark
Night
vision. Nope, it's just Spider and Big Spider.
I think cats have dark. I know the stat block says no, but I think I reject the stat block and substitute my own.
I know. I get mad every single time Liam can't use it on Critical Role because Frumpkin can't see in the dark, apparently.
All right.
Um,
I don't know that this octopus has. Oh no, it does have dark vision. You're right. Octopus
Send
has dark vision.
Octavius.
Octavius and a lantern.
I wasn't sure because this
human eyes see.
this is not an actual octopus. It has its own stat block. And I didn't remember seeing it on there.
oh, I thought it was just small beast octopus. That's what I've been treating him as.
I haven't compared it, so I don't know what's different. But it has its own stat block that says octopus tough.
Oh, a tough octopus. Hell yeah. What's its CR?
I don't.
47.
1.
Oh, wow. Wow. Compared to a normal octopus, which has CR 0, like, I can't even wild shape into that octopus.
That octopus could conceivably
octopus
kill a
is
party of
buff.
4 level 1 adventurers.
It has
That
higher
octopus
AC,
Bear.
and it has more hit points.
That octopus could kill a bear. Like, easily.
I mean, I feel like that might depend on whether they are fighting on the land or in the water. In the water, I believe you. On land, I think I might put my money on the bear still.
Yeah, that's the only difference. It has higher AC and hit points.
Oh,
That
okay.
was pretty good.
It has a higher strength score, but it still only does 1 damage. It's higher dex, higher con, same int, same whiz, same charisma.
Huh, interesting. Cool. So I'm gonna cast Dark Vision on Jack, and if I need Dark Vision, I will Wild Shape.
Okay. How long does dark vision last?
8 hours.
Okay, cool. So it's basically it'll last the whole night.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. So you guys head out and start canvassing the district. Go ahead and give me perception or investigation. Those of you that are using I guess Mina can still people look at it as well, but you won't be able to see that.
24!
Only for the
9.
mundane.
It's good to have the mundane covered.
Yes.
7.
18 perception for the mundane.
Well, see, this is exactly why I wanted 3 of us doing it, because James and I both rolled like crap.
And I
I
rolled
rolled 1.
great.
Alright, so you guys spend a couple hours just kind of tracing over, kind of getting familiar with the routes that you're probably going to be looking over more in time to come. You do catch some traces of Apet energy. Seems fresh, going through the canal.
That's where we're
Going
All
through
right.
like
The
down
the
or like into?
Stanfield Canal.
Right, but through like down along it or like into it.
Oh, along it.
Maybe this is a lead. We should probably follow it, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Then I will cast Pass Without Trace. So everyone within 30 feet of me has plus 10 stealth and cannot be tracked, except by magic.
Everyone within 30 feet of you that you choose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so fuck Carolyn or whatever her name was.
Yeah. Get out of my spill, bitch!
Her name on the handout is still Mysterious Note, so...
Oh, I thought I changed it.
Or at least on mine, it still says Mysterious Note.
It still says Mysterious
Yeah.
Note on ours.
You might need to reload it then.
Oh,
No,
I
think it'd
see.
be Mysterious Note.
No, I see. If you look over on the right on the thing, it does say Lauren Steinberg. It just says Mysterious Note because it was open saying Mysterious Note. So if you close it and reopen it, it'll be the thing.
I wish it was still Mysterious Note.
It's just the default name that a handout has when you create it on Roll20.
That's fair.
Okay, so we're going down the canal. We have passed without trace.
Okay.
Jack has dark vision. I will be a big spider.
Okay. Are you going? Which way are you going? Towards
Which
the
way
lake
does
or towards the bay?
energy seem to go? Which way does the energy seem to be flowing?
It's hard to tell.
Which direction is it stronger in?
It's hard to tell.
It's fine. We'll either find where it began or where it ended.
Yeah, we'll go towards the
Probably towards the lake, though, right?
No, we'll go towards the lake.
Yeah.
If we head towards the lake, we'll most likely find where it began. But if we head away from the lake, we might be able
To save
to
someone's
find
life.
exactly.
What's your logic there? Why the bay? Why is the bay not where it started?
If it's attacking mostly around the lake, it would most likely be based in the lake, like you were mentioning at the police station. So if it's based in the lake, most likely its home turf is going to be that side of the trail. In which case, it's most likely headed points down the canal that way.
Fair enough. Let's go.
I can't make spider sounds, but generic spider sounds.
And you guys want to be stealthy?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
That would be why I cast Pass Without Trace. We could move at full speed and have disadvantage. We have +10, so even with disadvantage, we should be fine, right?
Yeah.
And Jack already has disadvantage, so...
That's true. Can't be more disadvantaged. And really only the lowest one matters.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So we'll go at full speed, but stealthily.
I rolled a 3, so I got 19.
I rolled a 3, so I got a
12.
$14.
I rolled a 5, so I got a 21.
19.
Okay.
Well, we all rolled real low, huh?
Yeah. And sorry, which direction did you come down on?
Towards the
Away
bay.
from... Yeah, away from the lake.
All right. Cool. So you follow the trail west through the city, moving as carefully as you can, but also trying to move at full speed. You get to the bay, and you see the energy start at a dock and lead into the canal.
I was right, motherfucker.
Okay, so we turn around.
Well, it just, like, appears on the dock?
Yeah.
Alright. Well then, let's go really fast towards the dock. Towards the lake. Maybe we can still catch up.
Maybe
How
we
long
should
were
check
we
out
walking?
that dock first.
Oh,
Yeah, we
sorry.
should check the dock.
How long were we walking?
It's probably so from when you guys started. It probably was about 2 or 3 hours before you caught the trail, and then it would have been about 30 minutes of following the trail out to the bay from where you found it.
Okay. Pass Without Trace has about a half hour left. Also, I can't talk.
Sure.
Okay. So, are you guys heading back the other way or checking out the dock?
I mean, we're here. Let's check out the dock first.
Check
Yeah.
out the dock.
Okay. Give me perception or investigation.
20?
13.
23.
12.
Looks like a dock. Nothing to. There's nothing. There's no vessel here at the moment.
But the trail just, like, poofs into existence in the middle of the dock?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Weird.
All right, then we turn around and haul ass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you guys doing stealth again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But still...
Can we take a 5-minute break real quick?
Sure.
Cool.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Did you miss us?
Okay, I definitely did not roll this. I definitely set those dice down. It has to be.
We were stealthing again?
Yeah. In my dice tray, I have 2 natural 20s, but I'm fairly certain that I set my dice down like that.
Yeah, that's another 3 and an 11. So, yeah, 14.
I rolled a 4, so I have a 20.
I rolled a 10, so I have a 26.
Cool. So you guys are heading back up the canal. And about halfway to Parody Lake, you see a barge that's heading back down towards the bay, and it is glowing with Apet energy.
Let's get on that boat.
Well, that's
Click,
good.
click, 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 point.
What's that, El Fairy? Throw you in the water?
Maybe he wants us. Maybe he wants us to throw him, and then he'll turn back into a bird in the air and glide down onto it. Look at Spiral Fairy. I don't think that's a good idea. You'll be separated from it anyway. Let's follow that boat.
I'm gonna.
I mean, is the canal narrow enough that we could like jump onto it? I'm assuming no.
There are bridges periodically.
I would
Okay.
like to try and climb onto the boat because I have spider climb, so I can just kind of cling to the side.
You have to
How
get
are you going to get to the side?
Uh,
The boat is
Hold
moving in the canal.
where's my?
Yeah, I
Do
think
I
we're
not
just.
have web as a fucking spider? Ugh, useless.
What is
I
your
can't
speed as
shoot
a
the
spider
web.
anyway?
My speed as a spider is 40 feet and a 40-foot climb speed.
Oh wow.
You're a spider, not Peter Parker. You know what else can't
Can't
shoot
he
a
be
web?
both?
A spider.
I'm a giant magic spider. Come on.
Okay, I think we're just running down the canal to get ahead of the boat, and I guess we're going to hop on a bridge and then jump down onto the barge
Okay.
because this is an action movie now.
Sure.
Yeah,
Is
let's
that-
do it.
Is that what you guys want to do?
DM is way too eager, but we're doing this anyway.
Yep.
All right. So you guys dash down the way that the barge is heading. You're able to cut it off and get it on top of a bridge and make a jump. I guess you can.
Stealthily.
Oh, and stealthily.
Yeah, stealthily.
Okay. Well, give me new stealth checks and also give me. Isn't there like a not hurt yourself when jumping from 10 feet
That'd be
up?
athletics.
Athletics.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Oh yeah, acrobatics like tumble.
15 stealth.
Ooh. I got a 20.
Oh, I guess I
So 20 stealth.
should roll a die.
15 stealth and 20 acrobatics.
I got a 25 stealth,
Nice.
and
I haven't rolled a die yet tonight, so let me do that real
ooh,
quick.
my acrobatics was shit.
And you said acrobatics?
Yeah,
I
isn't
haven't rolled
there?
above a 4 so far.
Isn't there like a?
Acrobatics.
Unless you just want to take the hit from jumping down,
I mean, I could do
How-
acrobatics.
How far is it?
like 10 feet.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's not that bad if we fail.
I
Nope.
fucking took a spill.
Just good because I failed.
I got a 7 because I
I
rolled a
rolled
1.
4.
I got a 21.
All right. Cool.
Turns out I'm not very good at jumping on boats from bridges as a spider. I tripped over my legs.
I mean, 21 assuming that I can use acrobatics. If I have to use athletics, it's a 14.
It's acrobatics, I think, isn't it?
I think so. I don't.
Hmm.
I know how to do this in
Sounds
3.5. I don't know how to do this in 5e.
Acrobatics sounds good.
Cool. I got 21. I like
Um,
that number better.
oh. What were the stealth checks again?
20.
25.
Jack, what was yourself?
My stealth was 15.
Yeah, I think the question is, what was Jack's stealth check?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear somebody in the driving area of a barge. Helm?
Wheelhouse.
Wheelhouse.
Helm,
Wheelhouse.
Wheelhouse.
Say in
Wheelhouse.
a woman's voice. What was that?
Does it sound like Zambria Meredith?
Oh, did I take damage for the failing?
Oh, 2.
Okay. I have 9 spider hit points left.
Should I take that too also?
4.
Ooh. Oh, we had a long rest because we were on
We
the...
had several long rests.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
I need...
across the boat. Yeah, I was like, you haven't had one since getting back, but yeah, you did while on the ship.
Which is good, because that gave me enough time to recover all of my hit dice.
Exactly.
Give me an insight to see if you recognize the voice.
Sounds good.
25.
12.
Ilferi, it does not sound familiar. But you also are a spider.
I just pull up my 2 arms like, no.
Ninja spider dance.
What is on this barge? Just vaguely. I don't need a battle map.
Sure. It looks like a garbage barge.
I'll check.
But you notice as you're looking at the contents of the barge, there is a glowing yellow like orb, like that, like maybe 6 or 8 inches across, that is glowing with apid energy.
I was about to
Well.
pick up some food off the barge, but I think I'll pick up that orb just, like, on the way.
get the orb.
Or maybe don't touch it.
Maybe let's find out what it is first.
Yeah.
How are we going to do that?
I pick up the orb.
Identify?
It's fine.
Okay.
You're going to get zapped to Apet.
You now
Okay.
have orb.
All right.
Just like in your spider mouth.
Oh, right. I stopped being a spider.
Yeah. Okay. You are no longer spider. You now have orb.
All right. I also pick up a fish head or something.
You
Just
now have fish
Eat
head.
it. I eat it.
You no longer have a fish head.
Does anybody look like they're coming out of the wheelhouse?
Nope.
And the trail clearly is this orb, right? There's no like other energy coming from inside the wheelhouse or anything like that.
Yep.
All right, we found our.
The others off the barge
Yeah.
Yep.
stealthily
Um,
away.
A woman pokes her head out the wheelhouse and spots you guys as you're. Well, I don't know how are you planning on getting off?
Jump in the water.
There's a canal right here.
Oh, you're just gonna jump in the water. Okay. A woman pokes her head out and sees you all as you jump overboard. You notice that she has red hair.
Red hair.
So it was
Uh,
angry. Yeah.
But her voice didn't sound familiar at all.
And there wasn't any Apet energy trailing her.
Or it was Lauren.
I
Yeah, that's
didn't-
what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, what color red was it? Like, was it red hair and a similar color to someone that we know?
Give me a perception check.
Fair enough.
Nine.
Nope.
Nope.
I am rolling like crap tonight.
And
21.
6.
Mina, this looks like somebody similar enough to Zambria that you could mistake her for Zambria.
Okay.
Do you stop us from getting off the boat?
No.
okay.
You're now in the
No, I'm
canal.
talking-
Trail this boat.
Well, were we in the process of jumping overboard when she poked her head out, or did she see us and we start to run for the edge?
She knew that you guys were on, so she probably would have poked your head out before you guys ran.
Okay. Guys, wait.
Okay.
Ferris just stalled midair.
I turn around while I'm gliding.
Theodore like power slides, catches himself on the edge of the boat.
I pull my guns and train them on the red-haired woman.
She puts her hands up.
Don't
shoot!
And your name would be?
Jessica?
Jessica, we're with the RHC. We're gonna need to have a chat with you and everybody else on this barge.
Well, there's no one else here.
Who are you talking to then?
What do you mean?
We heard someone say, what was that?
Yeah, people jumped on my barge. I was startled.
Talk to yourself?
I was talking to whoever jumped on my barge.
Now that we're in a protracted conversation, does Zeodor notice that this woman looks similar to Dr. Zambria?
Yes.
What was her first name again?
Jessica.
Jessica. Jessica, what's your last name?
Herden.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Would you know
Picture in
about
that-
Ambria by chance?
Ask her a question, in that way you do.
What?
Well, no, I know what he's going for. He's asking Zeodor to say something to her in Ancient, but I think we're going to hang on to that for now. I think Jack's question is more relevant. Are you familiar with a Dr. Zambria Meredith?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Interesting.
Where are
Were
you
you separated
from?
at birth?
We got a fucking
From a sibling.
Madeline Pryor over here.
What do you do for a living?
No, just like odd jobs. Somebody paid me tonight to just like drive this barge up and down the canal.
Who paid you?
I don't know, some person in a cloak.
Is this the first time they paid you to do this?
And that didn't strike you as suspicious?
I don't know, it's good money.
First.
Alright, where?
Yes,
How
the
far
first-
away?
Hang
Hang
on.
on.
That's a lot of questions.
The fairy, shut the fuck up. Is this the first time you've done this?
No, it's been like a couple days.
Okay.
Does she seem to be being straightforward with us?
Why don't you give me a not
Insight.
sense motive? Yeah, that one.
I have a 15.
20.
7. Okay, you need a timeout.
17.
Jack and Mina, she seems I guess all of you would believe that she's being sincere
Okay.
with varying
How-
degrees of
How
assurance.
many nights have they had you do this?
She thinks for a second. I guess this is the 5th night?
Fuck. Okay.
Can we please ask her, like, where
Yeah.
the
Yes.
contact is? Where is she?
You had regular
Where's-
meetings with this contact?
No, they just paid me once and gave me something to put on the boat.
Yep.
Was that something,
This orb.
this orb?
Yeah.
Confiscating that.
Okay.
Okay, it's not mine. You can have it.
And you
Also confiscating this.
and you're sure you've never
Grab
met
some
this
bread.
person before?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, they look exactly like you.
Well, they had a hood on, so I couldn't really see their face.
That's fine.
I think that may have been the point. I
I know.
think the entity was trying to get us to kill this person.
Sure.
It's possible.
Someone may be using you as bait.
Well, are you gonna shoot me?
No.
No, but you
Why
know,
would we shoot the bait?
bring you into protective custody for a little bit until we figure this out.
Do I get to keep the money?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say
that's
so.
fine.
Sure.
Okay. Sure, whatever.
What you did wasn't illegal, just kind of sketchy.
Yeah, you've done nothing wrong or illegal here. We,
You're lucky your brain didn't get eaten, though. Let's be real.
yeah,
Oh, I heard about that. Is that the person who
Yeah.
was eating brains?
Yeah.
potentially. We can't.
Whoa. It's
can't
crazy.
Prove that definitely, but it is possible.
Probably.
So,
Oh, I gotta tell my friends.
Is- with that in mind,
No, that's not a good idea.
that
That
will
their brains
definitely-
will be eaten because they know that you know, and then your brain will be eaten.
No.
Not gonna have the
So-
time to do that yet.
With all that in mind, is there anything else you can tell us about where you met this person or anything at all?
No, not really. We just met like in an alley somewhere in town, and like they gave me this thing, and
Where in
Homemade.
town?
I don't know, like somewhere in Parody Lake.
If we,
Any
if I showed you on a map, could you? If I pull out a map, could you show me?
What do I look like? A mapologist?
No, I
Wow.
just need to know everything you can tell us.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
Let's
Upon-
take her back to the station because she's gonna have to stay there.
Go over this there.
Are they gonna eat my brain if I don't drive the boat, though?
That's
Well,
why we're putting
that's
in
We're
why
gonna
protective
have you
we're-
surrounded by people that can protect your brain.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you aren't under arrest. You could refuse, but then most likely, yes, they would eat your brain.
Right.
All right. She
And
goes.
unlike the brain eaters, we're not in the business of using live bait.
or eating brains.
Yeah.
All right. She goes along with you willingly.
Come with us if you want to leave.
Come with me if you want to leave.
That's it.
All right. Well, doop.
All right.
Later at the station.
I'm
Pretty
gonna
much.
cast Detect Magic on this orb.
Okay. It is.
Well, I guess I'm gonna cast Detect Magic, and then I'll look at the orb, but it lasts 10 minutes, so like.
It is a sphere made of glass.
Mhm.
That's about it.
Is there any magic on it?
No.
She just kind of rubbed it on herself to make it all ape-heady.
Gross.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break this
Why?
Don't do that yet.
to try and get rid of the apet contamination. Blah.
Let's do that after we get a chance to look it over.
It's
That's
not
also-
magic.
That this is a distraction is a good theory, but let's do a little more research before we break potential evidence.
So,
Okay, anyone
let's
got a
just-
lead box?
I mean, let's just take it in. I don't see why we would need to break it and throw shards of
Yeah,
ape-head energy all over the place. I don't think that'd make it easier to track anything.
Alright, well, we need to, like, lock this away somewhere where
I
we
mean,
can't sense
it's
it.
not like radiating energy out into the whole world, right? It's leaving a trail.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like this shit is like Warpstone and Warhammer, where it's gonna mutate shit.
No, I wasn't saying that. I just mean, like, if we put it in a lead box, we no longer can sense it. Right?
Sure, but if we just put it where we know where it is.
I don't know
Then
if
it
you've done
doesn't
any
matter.
experiments to prove that or not, but
Yeah, we can research all of this.
Let's just bring it back to the RHC. Just leave it there.
Yeah,
If we know where it is, it's not a problem. If we know where it is and what it is, it's not an issue.
Alright. I just don't like it. I'm upset at it, okay?
It's just a glass ball.
That's fine.
It's a glass ball that put us on the wrong trail, and now she's
Yeah.
gonna die.
and now we'll move, and we're one step closer. Okay, so either
Yeah.
go out there and find where she is, or fucking deal with it like an adult, which you say you are, and we'll move on.
Don't see why. You know what? Fine. Mock me all you want. I just think that this thing's a problem, and we should just get rid of it.
I think that
We're
having
gonna leave it at the thing. That's fine. It's fine. I just don't need mockery for thinking that we should get rid of it.
I don't think that breaking it gets rid of the problem. Breaking it just spreads around the energy. It's not radiating energy out into
Sure,
the world.
I got
It's
it.
just
But like,
covered in it.
I'm not upset at that part. I'm upset at the mockery. All right. Just because I have different thoughts on how to deal with stuff doesn't mean that I deserve to be mocked for it. Jack.
Have better ideas.
Not helpful. Can we just go back to headquarters and look at all this shit?
Yeah,
We were actually at headquarters already.
I assumed this was the
Yeah,
conversation on the way back.
Conversation going through the door. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I had to sit there for 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic, so like,
Oh, fair enough.
had to have already been there.
Okay.
Anyways, it's not magic. I just checked for that. Obviously, it's letting off Apet energy. I don't really know what else there is to learn about it.
Most-
Okay. But you haven't let anybody else look at it either.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm not saying me, I'm just saying, like, now that we're at the station, we have resources at our disposal.
Sure. I'm not stopping anyone.
Okay.
It's just sitting there on the table.
cool. I'm gonna look this thing over.
Okay.
Arcanoly.
Okay.
Or I would happily assist Zeodor if he wanted to do that.
I say we just hand it into the quartermaster and have them lock it up in evidence.
Well, I'd like to take a look at it first, make sure it's not some kind of beacon for teleporting or something like that.
Right.
Okay.
I trust O'Flaherty's assessment.
Okay, then I'm going to examine it.
Okay.
10.
There doesn't seem to be anything of note.
Okay. Then we'll turn it in.
Alright. Zeodor grabs the orb and goes to take it to the quartermaster to have it locked up in evidence.
Can I
if
give
at all
him a name at
possible,
some point?
You have a lead box, so we can try something.
What'd you say, Redbeard?
I did name him.
What, the desk sergeant or the quartermaster?
The quartermaster.
Yeah.
Justin Elvor.
I am Justin Elvor, quartermaster.
Good evening, Constable Elvor.
Hey, what do you got?
Nothing much. Just a non-magical ball of glass we need locked up in evidence. Part of an ongoing investigation.
I think my mother collected those.
Don't
Yeah,
give
hopefully
this to
not
your
one
mom.
like this.
Unless you want a brain eaten.
A strange collection. Let me know if she's missing one, though, I guess.
Alright, whatever. Takes it. Jots down some notes.
Oh, and one of the other constables wanted you to... Do you have a lead box you could put it in?
Yeah, we got some, safety. You think it's dangerous? I thought you said it was non-magic.
No,
Nah.
Not dangerous, we just
we
want
want
to try something.
Sure that the energy it's giving off could possibly be
Contained.
contained. The energy's not harmful to anything. We just think it might be causing interference.
Yeah, well, alright. Well, we'll run some tests on it, too. You think that
Sure,
there's something
shouldn't be anything-
non-mundane about it?
It was just exposed to some magical energy, some planar energy. Shouldn't be anything dangerous about it, but hey,
Planar?
run your tests. Yeah, we have a specialist on our team.
Weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
Tosses it over his shoulder into a basket.
Nice aim. Good arm.
I do that a lot.
Terrible idea.
He's got like a basketball hoop set up over it.
Alright.
He dreams of being in the RBA.
Okay. So
It's, I guess,
got
like,
this lady.
pretty late at night by this point.
Yeah,
Early morning, depending.
we might as well get some rest and try again tomorrow.
Should we talk to Jessica first? Is there anything else worth getting out of her?
Can't hurt.
I doubt it.
I also doubt it. She did not seem like the sharpest tool in the shed, but she's the only link we have at present. But getting her off the canal should hopefully make the next couple nights easier.
Potentially.
I hope. If there's another garbage barge tomorrow night, well, I guess that still gives us some evidence, but I won't like it.
Yeah.
Zeodor is just going to go to the workshop since we ended a little bit early, and he's got an extra 4 hours a night anyway. He's gonna go work on the golem a bit.
Cool.
Jack's gonna take a walk.
Furry's just gonna go home and steam stew.
Steam some stew.
Steam some stew.
Not steam.
Oh,
Try to steam stew!
Welcome to Alferi's Steam Stew Emporium.
I feel like there is a steamed stew. I feel like that's a thing somehow. I mean, I guess that's kind of what a stew
Yeah.
is, isn't it?
I like if stew is not steamed, then what is it? Like you put a lid on it, and yeah, but like, can you steam a liquid?
Sure. I mean, if you put it in a vessel that is above
Yeah, I
a
guess
pot of
so.
boiling water, because the point of steaming something is the even temperature.
I guess so. So if you did like a
I
double
mean,
boiler of stew,
But a double boiler isn't steamed. It's indirectly heated.
Well, yeah. I would count it as steamed.
anyway.
Either way, I'm sticking with my soup dumpling.
Sure.
Ilferi's gonna fume and be angry. and go home.
All right.
Cool.
Now I want
it's gonna
soup
follow
dumplings.
Jack.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about something, or
Could you stop being a cranky asshole?
can the bird stop being a cranky asshole?
Okay, I can talk to him too, but can you stop being so antagonistic?
Yeah, if he'll stop trying to be so dead set about every fucking thing.
Oh my god, this is not helping me. I'm trying to be a peacemaker here. It's literally like peacekeeper. It's my last fucking name, asshole!
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Thank you. That's all I ask. I'm going home. Do you need anything?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure? Don't need a bagel in the morning?
I mean, it'd be nice.
Okay, fine. Fuck you. I'll see you in the morning.
Your dad left some steamed stew waiting out for you. Oh, alright. You all gain the benefit of a long rest.
Woo!
Oh my
I'm
God,
changing the spells I prepared. Because I
Okay.
think we're all diseased.
Well, we'll find out soon enough, I suppose.
Yep.
I mean, you guys still have been having the symptoms that you started having after seeing that Apet Temple of, like, misjudging distances and things of that nature.
That's why I tripped when I tried to jump on the barge.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's definitely why.
yeah. I mean, that feels appropriate. I like that explanation.
After sleeping in your own bed, though, you, like, feel slightly better. Like, it's not completely gone, but, like,
It kind of centers us.
yeah.
In the morning, I'm going to ritual cast detect poison and disease on myself.
Okay.
I guess. Sorry. Myself and everyone within 30 feet. So I will get Shrubbles and Octavius in it as well, just in case.
Nice. Octavius has thin rot.
Octavius no longer has adorable octopus cancer.
I'm only detecting it. He'll still have cancer.
Oh.
Oh no!
I'll just be aware now.
Oh shit. Shovels, I have something to tell you.
You have root blight. I'm afraid it's fatal.
Until I cast this spell on you that cures it.
He actually does have like a minor like a worm that like infected some of his leaves.
Oh no.
But you now notice they're like shriveling up a little bit.
So that would be considered a disease?
I would think
Like-
so, probably.
Okay.
On yourself, there's something that's afflicting you, but it doesn't seem familiar.
And also, you're infected with boll weevils.
Also, you're more diseased than man now.
I am the disease golem.
Sorry, I also detect poisonous creatures within 30 feet of me.
There's a scorpion on the floor.
It's your new best friend.
Yes.
You do not detect any poisonous creatures. Wait, a new best friend already? He just got one like 2 minutes ago.
No, this is Troubles' new best friend.
What about venomous creatures?
Damn it! I was just gonna say, but you missed the pit viper, and you
Oh
step
my
on his
God.
head and you die.
It says poisonous, unfortunately.
There's a Zika mosquito. All right.
So, I'm afflicted by something, but I don't recognize it, and I can't really tell if it's... Well, but it came up with the spell, so I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Okay.
I can either cure a disease or poisoned, so I will just assume it's a disease.
Okay. You try casting Lesser Restoration on yourself, but there's nothing for you to affect with it. But you
That's
still
weird.
feel the distant madness.
Do I lose a spell slot
Yeah.
for casting?
Yeah.
Okay. And I still detect it on myself.
Yeah.
This detect lasts 10 minutes, so.
Okay.
Well, shit. I cast Lesser Restoration on Troubles.
Okay. I guess would the leaves just grow back to normal? Sure.
I mean, he's cured of the disease. It doesn't reverse the damage that's been done. He'll just
Yeah.
have to heal that normally.
Yeah.
The worms crawl out and writhe in agony and fall to the floor.
More or less, yeah.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't realize you had that going on. Say something when you don't feel good.
He just kind of shrugs. I thought that was normal.
No, you had worms. Worms aren't good.
You have worms.
He shrugs. Mina said it was growing pains.
These worms were eating you, and it wasn't good. Just, if you don't feel comfortable, let me know.
But I thought worms make soil good.
But
These
you do
kind.
not want to be good soil.
Yeah, you don't want to be soil, right?
It's the circle of life.
You're too young to be fatalistic like that.
Damn it, he's a survivalist. In like a week, he's going to have a bracelet made of paracord. There's no helping. It's,
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, well,
let's move
I gotta
on.
go.
All right, you guys reconvene.
Mina brings bagels.
Mina brings bagels.
Did you bring me a week old one?
No, but they had day old bread. I grabbed them.
It'll do.
Analysis of the orb reveals that it is, in fact, an orb.
Cool.
Has the energy in it dissipated?
they can't detect that. We can.
I cast Detect Planar Energy as a ritual.
Okay.
For
It definitely seems to have diminished since last night.
Any reports of a murder?
Nope.
Huh.
Interesting.
Actually, very surprised.
That may mean that the Gedem entity is going to be laying low. I suspect, if that's the case, that it is laying low until the gala.
I was gonna say if it knew we had a week to get here, it may have been feeding to keep itself sustained for the week that it can't feed.
I still think it's best if we continue our patrol.
Absolutely, but
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Detect Poison and Disease on the party. I suspect we might have something, so I'm checking for it.
It seems the same as yourself. There's something there, but it's not like a disease that your magics can affect.
I
Does
think we're like
And
cursed, kind of.
and it actually seems more like there's something more with Zeodor. Like there's an extra strong intensity of it.
Okay, so you know that thing that I forgot his name.
Delph?
Yeah, the thing that Delph was talking about, where people like can't judge distances and like they're calling it an illness.
the
Yeah.
distant madness? Yeah,
Right.
It's got to be a result of the leaking Apet energy.
So we all have it, but you have it worse. It's not quite a disease. I couldn't remove it from myself.
Theodore is starting to look around shifty. It's probably just because I touched the white orb that gave me
Right.
the illusion. It's probably just that.
You feeling any extra crazy lately?
Why would you? No. Why would you ask me that?
'Cause
Do I fucking believe him right now?
That's up
I
to
feel like
you.
that's a character question, honestly. But Theodore does seem like nervous.
Yeah.
Zeta, is there something you need to tell us?
He's looking around. No, nothing we don't already know.
that you're more crazy than us? I mean, if we call this thing crazy, anyways. You're more affected.
Actually, Theodore is going to act on it now, I suppose.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Theodore looks over and says, "Actually, how do we know that you're not the crazy one?"
Because I'm the one doing a diagnosis right now.
Yes,
I
you
Thought to do
are.
it.
What evidence do the rest of us have? Maybe you're trying to deflect onto me. You're the one who wanted to smash the orb.
Yes, because I was upset that it misled us and also might have caused a murder.
Let's see where this goes.
Or because you were trying to hide something.
Carter, you can have a
Like-
thing.
Thank you.
I'm also the one trying to fix it. I don't know if you like caught on to that part where I said I tried to cure it and it didn't work.
Yeah, you said you tried to cure it.
Can't really prove that I'm lower on spell slots technically.
But none of us knows your magic anyway. Even if we saw you casting your spells, we wouldn't know what you were doing.
Okay. He's acting like more crazy than normal, right guys?
I
A little bit.
don't love what you're saying, Theodore. Not gonna lie.
What I'm saying is that we know we're facing an enemy that can control minds and is out to kill us.
Yeah.
Can it control
So
minds?
why are you accusatory all of a sudden? And started asking you questions. You deflect.
Yeah, you
Ilferi.
spun it around on Ilferi, who you know Jack doesn't like, so easy to get him on your side.
I didn't start these accusations.
He
It
didn't.
wasn't really an accusation. I was pointing out that you are affected by something more than the rest of us. That could be like, I have more water on me because I just went for a swim. You got some extra residual badness on you.
You're saying that I'm crazy.
No.
No.
Ilferi
I
did literally
did technically
ask
say the
you
word
to
crazy.
say
That's just because We're calling it the Distant Madness, so, like, you have more madness than us, if that is what it is.
And he didn't come up with that name. He's just using the terminology given to him at this point. Zeodora, do you trust me?
That's an amazing question right in this moment. There's no pause in universe, but like this is Carter needs to spin a couple wheels.
This is Carter needs to wait a week to come back and answer this question.
Perhaps.
Actually, I mean, it is 10 o'clock. Can we fade out on that question? Because I kind
Sure.
of love that.
Sure.
Yes! Yes!
It's definitely not how I was planning the session to end out, but I think it's good.
I think it's great.
That's amazing.
Cool. So we'll find out whether Zeodor trusts Mina next time.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you all for joining us tonight for some Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh shit!
We'll be back
I
next.
have to figure out what that means for me too.
Next week should be the same as usual, but after that, stay tuned next week for upcoming schedule changes.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So we will be back next Tuesday. Same Kraken time, same Kraken network, same Kraken.
Same Kraken.
Different Kraken? Because Octavius?
It's a mini Kraken.
Octavius is secretly a larval Kraken.
Possibly changes to numbers of Kraken coming up.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.